Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the Nubia series of Crusader Kings 3 here on the Lord Master channel, in which I decided to jump ahead of time a few days until an event pops up or something, and this one just popped up here, using different languages. Traditionally, we Nubians use 3 languages in our writing: Sudanic, Egyptian, and Greek. To a lesser extent, we also make use of Arabic, given our dealings with those who follow Islam. My scribes need to have some ability in all these languages, as we tend to use them in different contexts. For instance, Egyptian is commonly used for religious texts. However, my Chancellor, Michael, has raised concerns that a few of my scribes are not proficient in some of these languages. We should better train the scribes, Michael recommends, so the quality of our documents isn't efficient. As our Chancellor Knight says it. Let me see. Intrigue +1, Nubians like me more. Egyptian, more learning lifestyle experience. Coptics would like me better. Greek, diplomacy, and prestige up. Or Arabic for stewardship and monthly stewardship lifestyle, even though I plan on changing lifestyles very soon. But given what we need, and I'm about to pick up the administrator, I'd say focus on training them in Greek, just for a bit of diplomacy and some monthly prestige up a bit for me, just by a slight margin. My liege are no initiated on judicial reforms, ending arbitrary arrests. Justice prevails, restoring trust in the legal system. Intelligent success. Buildings are cheaper and takes less time to build them for the next 5 years. Just what it needs to get these farms and fields started, so we can have some crop fields for more tax income. Well, Aegis by mass services during dynastic alliance failed, resulting in strained relationships and political isolation. Well, that's on you. I'm also reminded my spouse in the last episode died in childbirth. She was an intelligent woman, and I hope that the children of mine will grow up to be intelligent themselves. But as you are a small house, it would be better for you to find another noble woman. And I could see one right now, but keep looking. Preferably one of all good skills. So look for those. Ooh, there's one. Albino. Ingenious. Albino is a bit interesting, as it reduces fertility but increases the health boost, natural dread of it, and life expectancy. Goes don't tend to like them. It's not sinful. Which is noble, but the thing is, chance of having children will be low, thus I would be reduced to well, there goes all my prestige. That's all I could say on that matter. Well, there goes my prestige. And since I'm a chaste man myself, it would be wise to we'll finish learning that language and then I'll try to romance her. I can't seduce her because I'm chaste. I just need your skills. Right? Skills to help me with all this. Every little bit helps. Is Charlie. You just gotta wait till I get here. Her traits picked up, so she's an intellectual strategist, horse-like demeanor, indifferent observer, and superstitious beliefs. Well, she's in the Aegean Sea right now, so it's going to take a while for her to get here. Meanwhile, revolt ongoing, and it seems they've won the battle. Although it occurs to me that they have hill forts and they're building more defenses, which makes any enemy that dares to conquer Nubia will have a very difficult time if they didn't bring a large mass of humanity along with siege weapons. To showcase the talents of my family, I organized a grand cultural exhibition exclusively featuring the artistic endeavors of my kin, while elevating my dynasty's cultural standing. It fueled resentment among artists and performers from other backgrounds. She's in Egypt now. I'm in the mood for some traveling, as I need to get out more. Remember, credible forecast says we may get a high flood. It is high now flood. Alright, learn the Kushtic language. It's more piety for me, just for learning another tongue. These are the languages you need. It's good too bad we can't learn Coptic unless oh really? You had a populist uprising, and now there's an independent entity that is Coptic. Well, I'd like to learn that language of yours, just to complete my collection of languages that is of priority. And they did it. These Mandulists have formed the Kingdom of Lemia. Lemia? I don't know if that's how you say that, but it's a tribal kingdom, which they believe this faith, which we never brought up here. As you can see, position its holy sites there. What is the cult of Mandulus? The sun, great god and lord of... let's just slow it down so I can read along as we let time take along. Lord of Kablasha, the all-seeing master, king of air, Mandulus or Merwell in Old Nubian is a great sun god of Lower Nubia and the center of a cult amongst the Lemites of the eastern desert. Mandulus is the Kushite form of the Egyptian god Horus, who was the god of the sky and son of Isis and Osiris, usually shown as a falcon with a head of a man. Mandulus was worshipped in Kush and in Egypt, with his main temple in Philae serving as the chief site of pilgrimage. Meanwhile, while strolling through the garden, I noticed an anthill just off the path. I consider calling a servant to remove it. Something compels me to kneel down for a closer look. What I see is nothing short of astonishing. A swarm of red ants, moving in perfect unison, launches a coordinated assault on the black ants defending their nest. The reds advance like a well-oiled machine. Their numbers are overwhelming, their strategy ruthless. The blacks, however, stand firm. Their smaller soldiers form a defensive line to absorb the brunt of the attack. It's a battle of strategy. strength, and survival, a microcosm of human warfare. From this vantage point, I can't help but marvel at the parallels. The ants fight with a ferocity and discipline that rivals any human army. I wonder who will emerge victorious. I'll say Team Black, just to pick up Defender trait, and have a little bit of learning lifestyle experience. Which is, again, it's of the acoustic paganism. Veneration of the ancient gods of Kush remains strong here, as does the veneration of the boundary between life and death. But Chaos, my steward, though he's doing poor health, because he's ill, he is talented. So, as I take notice of the performance of my Chaos in the council, among vast meetings, I sense he's ever more influential in decisions being made and the advice being given to me. It's no wonder this political mastery improves contribution and long-standing influence at large. Which means he picks up that trait, just +1 on all skills. Now back to Mandulus. And my wife's just arrived here. You'll be treated well. Its tenants has esotericism, which children learning education folks may gain a wise man trait through well in their studies and makes wise men a virtue to them. Astrology, which allows adherents to divine the stars and predict their future, which they also have faster naval speed. And finally, sun worship. Hosting feasts in the summer months earns piety. Imprisoned criminals can be sentenced to a sun trial, and they take less attrition damage in desert and desert mountains. Not as good, but it's better than none. And for them, they are righteous, not pluralists. Concubines, no bastards. Divorce is always allowed. Unlike us, their same-sex relations is accepted, while deviancy, adultery is shunned. Close kin's criminal, witchcraft is accepted. Not surprising, given their tenet is esotericism. Clerical control is function, marriage is allowed, their gender is either. And they still do mummification as the funerary tradition over there. Meanwhile, I was out in the market browsing some wares when I overheard a beggar begging for alms, while a few locals told the man to go away and stop bothering them. One of the townswomen, a portly matron, happily gave him a little bit of money. Scold the locals for their cruelties, I give a beggar money, just to get a bit of prestige, as I lack of it. And as you can see, its holy sites, they do hold 1, and that gives them a marshal 2. If they were to advance further, though unlikely, they'll get all these benefits and try to reform the faith. The only other Kushtic faith is, well, Kushtikism. Which the difference between them and them is legalism. And they do mummification as well. So it's the final remnant of the Nubian mythology with Egyptian influence is still alive over there in East Jersey, and they have a full-fledged kingdom. Look at this! With their 4th level, it takes 4 years for a 2,000 plus man with allies to get her and to bring it all down. So in Nubian warfare, having allies and mercenaries is a must. Last year, I successfully mediated numerous conflicts between my knights, demonstrating my adeptness in resolving disputes and restoring harmony. Gained some prestige after a year. Gained +2 diplomacy and +10 general opinion. I'm going to do some things here. Let me see. Aha! Engage in Nubian Nile Agricultural Practices. So we have various traditional methods of improving agricultural output along the Nile. How should we improve the agricultural productivity along the Nile? Choose one of the available options to see its effects and requirements. Let me see. But first, for historical context, since ancient times, like their Egyptian neighbors to the north, the peoples of Nubia utilized a variety of methods to make most out of the Nile flood in Sudan. Many of these methods involved the entire community with support of the local elites. And now I've become administrator, so that's +1 diplomacy, +3 stewardship. Vassal opinion goes up, as well as tributary opinion, plague resistance up a bit, and parochial vassal opinion if you have any, also depending on. To organize, administrate, and raise efficiency, Merki will get it done. I'm going to go switch to a wandering focus. And I do need prestige, so destination focus. I'm going to do quite a bit of traveling myself. Because it's +1 martial, +1 stewardship, but point of interest prestige +50 at each and every one of those places you go to. And plus, learn language phase like 250 days faster. Not going to become an inspector due to the lack of counties I hold. Cheaper mercenaries would be good. You get to have private army if you have this previous perk. But anyways, so do we expand Nile irrigation networks, maintain affairs, grow pig herds, import cattle, or breed cattle? Nile's internal, but let me see. Expanding Nile irrigation networks, that's +25% of the holding taxes goes up. Maintaining affairs, this you spend gold, or I don't know why it says gain and spend. It's a little odd typo, I think. And when taking decisions to protect Nile farmers or welcome Nile pastoralists, such as these, the county miners get increased bonuses if the county has the maintaining affairs. Really? Okay. And the maintaining affairs as we have is for control growth and less travel danger, especially if we have more counties. Something we ought to think about. Keep looking. Just want to browse around a bit more. The grow pig herds. That's just free prestige and piety. Every county owner now does not follow a feat that considers pigs taboo. So for growing pig herds, development up along with popular opinion. Useful if you're having issues with popular opinion, and that's no problem. Import cattle, more prestige. Importing non-Nubian cattle means more development growth. Or breed cattle here, which is more piety. And also development growth along with control growth. And our development is pretty damn good right now. And we would like to welcome these pastoralists, which, mind you, that you're going to need a little bit more money for this. Because you could pay a random amount of gold between 25 to 50 to gain extra soldiers, clean some men at arms. But this is a double-edged sword if you're bringing Nile agro-pastoralists to your counties. Because of control decline, and building construction costs will increase, as we're not building anything anytime soon for the next 5 years. The decision costs less gold if the Nile River is currently experiencing a bad Nile flood, which as of currently, wife's pregnant, it's a high flood, but unreliable forecast thinks there might be a low flood. And we don't gain that much money these days, so it can wait. Oh, and Plemius culture, the Beja. They speak Kushtic, they are desert travelers, warriors of the dry, mountain skirmishing, and isolationalists. And we have not looked much at the Baqt because I've never done any interactions with them. But it's leaning more towards Discord than the Accord. What's going on? Yeah, there's been wars. Declare war on the Egyptian ruler as an African ruler. Is that you that's been doing that? You've been warding off now pastoralists, that's another thing. Plundered now farmers. The Epoch of Nobatia and the governor of Aswan have not done anything bad yet. Data consumption. Oh, he was our Presbyteros. And now we have a new one who is not as good. Huh. If you wish to fabricate claim or anything. He's paranoid, deceitful, and ambitious. You ought to watch out, that man. Anyways, back to the Baqt. Like, why is it leading towards Discord? We had some bad Nile floods, yes, but that's because there's been periods of wars. Any Accord, you gotta do the opposite. With the good Nile floods, neither the governor of Aswan or the Epoch of Nobate have done anything successful as yet. Especially with Nobate, as they're in the middle of a civil war, for which is going to take them an eternity and a half to get it done. Something to get done. Peasant uprising. Tyranny war. Boy, they're about to get him off. Okay, hang on. Liege's disapproval as counsel. My liege expresses dissatisfaction with my performance as counsel. I must redouble my efforts to gain trust to prove my worth. That doesn't look good to me, as I'm the marshal. Significant power projection. To bond with my family, I organize exclusive royal hunts, granting my kin privileged access to the finest hunting grounds. This is our restored resentment among the commoners who are restricted from their traditional hunting areas. They brought some now pastoralists, and they've stopped sieging. What are you doing? Well, it doesn't matter. War score's ticking along. Because they've not taken any objectives. That's there, so I guess they are going to get them at all, after all. I'm just abiding my time of what the next Nile flood will be. Will it be a low flood, or normal, or a high, or even very low? Praise Saint Marina. Just gave birth to a perfect little daughter. Well, one thing's for certain, she's not albino as far as I could see. These Christian sounding names here for Coptic. And the Nubian names are a mix of Greek and native Nubian. Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Oh. 1. Very low flood. And 2. Even the greatest favors have eventually forgotten what most lost subjects. It's no use accumulating many favors. If you don't demand a return on time, the more people owe you favors, the more they'll feel uncomfortable about it. For every 1,000 piety, ingratitude will only get worse, so that's a reduction of monthly piety. And renown goes up, and natural dread goes up slightly, because I don't have much natural dread to begin with. So each time you do that, every 1,000 piety, you get a bad penalty. Might lead to once abundant wildlife in your territory suffer depletion. The ecosystem is struggling. There are concerns about the long-term impact on the environment. Damn it. First things first. We'll plan a border raid. And 2. We should engage in Nubian agricultural practices. Should maintain Hafiz. Gives me a bit of control growth. So Hafiz has been built in this region since the days of the Egyptian pharaohs and the Kushite Courtiers and Kandakas. The farmers and herders alike make use of these water reservoirs. Naz and Tana. So yeah, there's improved relations, and it's also cheaper now. But maintaining these Hafiz, it could potentially make an even better increased bonus for welcoming these Nile pastoralists in. Thank God for the Nile River. We Nubians have used Hafiz for as long as anyone can remember. These wonderful reservoirs are designed to suit the arid landscape near the Nile River and are of great use to both farmers and pastoralists. These days, it is more common to maintain the ancient Hafiz and our predecessors built long ago, often near ancient ruins. But sometimes we also construct new ones too. Regardless, I've been given instructions to my local officials in my territories to maintain or construct new Hafiz as needed for the benefit of the locals. Water security is not an issue we can neglect here. Control up, less travel danger. And now let's welcome these Nile pastoralists in and cooperate with them. The waters of the Nile River attracted herders and other agro-pastoralists for centuries. While dealings with them have always been peaceful, there have been opportunities for cooperation too, and we should invite those that are friendly to our lands. Greatly improve relations. Better benefits, but the control decline. Increased opinion. Pay around a go between 25 and 50 to get some more soldiers. And it costs less if you're in a bad Nile flood, which is actually very low. And for context, settled as well as pastoral communities have coexisted along the Nile for millennia, sometimes in peace and in trade, and sometimes in more exotic, hostile context. In actuality, the dividing line between the two could be blurry. As for many pastoralists did make use of farming on occasion, and rulers of more urbanized parts of the Nile sometimes had close political ties with pastoral groups. Together we can prosper. The Nile Valley is home to both agrarian and pastoralist communities. While our relation to the pastoralists is always friendly, there are those who are willing to cooperate with us. There are useful resources and services we can exchange with one another, and their presence can deter more hostile tribes. Plus, they're subservient enough, they can also provide us some taxes. And I have thus invited some pastoralist clans living in the nearby deserts to live close to us, so we may work together to make this land prosper. For as long as they do not cause any trouble, they have nothing to fear from us. Damn. 47 gold for 400 men that we'll get. So they'll fight for us now. I'm hot on boils. Started 2 years ago and now it's reached up there. It's on its way down to the Nile if we're not careful. Raid failed. Trying to think in my mind. Oh yes, military. Powerful vassals have gathered. Your top liege have gathered the powerful vassals to deliberate the realm's future, deciding which laws to uphold or amend. Your charisma is the key to steering their ambitions towards your interests. This is a unique, yet demanding opportunity. After evaluating your situation, 2 powerful vassals appear receptive to your ideas. Perhaps a small incentive could sway them willingly to carry out your wishes as if they were own. Mayor of the Seneschal, Zacharias Spy Master, Duke the Steward, me, the Marshal, George's Chancellor. I'll try to persuade him. After carefully observing and waiting for the right moment, he seized an opportunity to invite the Duke Zacharias to a more private conversation. Though Duke Zacharias may not show interest, they listen respectfully and are open to considering your perspective. Holy crap! That would get rid of my prestige. Better to let it go. Now what about the blind mare? May not show interest, but considering. It's just better to let it go. I can't do all that. It's not worth my time. Whatever they're trying to change with their laws. But right now it looks the same, so I don't know what they're doing up there. But I want you to keep in mind, this is laws of Mercuria. It doesn't apply to me, but applies to them, I think. The laws of all vassals automatically mirror the laws of the top liege. The realm is also decided by the culture and personality of powerful vassals, or by the top liege with absolute crown authority. My liege of negligence by less noble allowed vanity to flourish. I would have obvious clamoring for protection. The county holder's skill may increase or decrease with good or bad events. Yep, it's not a free fall. Earlier we mentioned Huffiers. What are Huffiers? Huffiers are a kind of artificially constructed water reservoir first built by the kingdom of Kush in ancient Nubia that are still used to this day. Many of the earlier Huffiers were built next to Kushite temples and may have been associated with religious and royal authority and power. That's what that is. That disease out there. I don't think it'll spread further. But hopefully in time, I hope it just killed someone the first time. Hopefully when this disease goes away, I'd like to do some traveling all around the region. But right now I can't afford anything. All members of the house remain steadfast in upholding your trust. Demonstrate unwavering loyalty to your house's honor, remain untarnished, and the unwavering commitment of your members advances faith in your leadership. Okay, what the hell's top liege? 1 second. Okay, the top religious courtiers consensus decided to change the religious law to crown appointment. And intelligence ordinances, extensive vigilance, judicial formality, exaggerated formality. The command structure is back to chain of command. Moral standards, absolute purity. Slavery regulations now unregulated. And the festivity budgets, modest celebration. So, now, in crown appointment, we'll slow down here again to do some more reading. The crown exercises significant control over the church, appointing bishops and clergy. The church become a tool of state power, securing a monarch's influence over religious affairs and ensuring loyalty from spiritual leaders. It used to be crown oversight. Diplomatic stance remains unchanged, as does the domain taxation. Yeah, you can see what's changed. So, slavery regulation used to be restricted, but now it's unregulated. So, the slave trade is largely unregulated by the crown, with a few restrictions on who may buy, sell, or own slaves. While the clergy expresses concerns, the practice continues to thrive, providing labor to sustain the realm's economy without oversight. Urban planning, realm bureaucracy remains the same. Judicial formality was complex documentation, but now it's changed to exaggerated formality. The realm's laws require all legal matters to be conducted in formal, often Latinized, contracts and elaborate legal language. Word-of-mouth agreements are inadmissible, and only those who can afford education and legal representation can navigate the system. This approach ensures accuracy, but alienates the common population from legal processes. So, this actually increases further of the piety, reduction of piety per legitimacy level, which it affects me too, you know. Clergy opinion and powerful vassal opinion goes up and pays more to the levy a tax contribution, but the popular opinion is lowered, especially the opinion of minority and minor landholder. Punishment severity remains the same. Moral standard was moral decency, but now absolute purity. So, the crown enforces a strict moral code, outlawing brothels, prostitution, and excessive indulgence entirely. Taverns are closely monitored, and public displays of decadence are punished harshly. The realm is kept in strict moral order, with both nobility and commoners subject to rigid expectations of chastity and temperance. Though this ensures public decency, it stifles personal freedoms and may provoke underground vice markets. So the general opinion is up, as does plague resistance. Okay, since there's a disease nearby, it makes sense. But unfortunately, love, romance, this thing is slower now. And this makes the zealous vassals more pleased. But since I'm a chaste man myself, I say I approve. Women's rights remain the same. The festivity budget's the only other thing that's changed, as does the command structure, as it went back to chain of command. So, first, modest celebrations. The crown occasionally contributes to religious holidays and festivals, but only the most essential or traditional events receive funding. The emphasis on modest celebrations, with limited public spending. Festivals are small and simple, reflecting the crown's desire to balance religious observance with frugality. In which, with this, small health boost up will increase a bit of monthly income. Tyranny loss is reduced rather than gain. Dread gain for tyranny. This one. Short reign and long reign, this is changed. Increased. Initial enemy hostile escape chance is reduced, while legend spread chance is minus 20%, as does legitimacy loss. The command structure was restrict orders, but now it's been laid back to chain of command. The realm enforces a clear hierarchical command structure at battle. Orders flow from the crown to the commanders, who are expected to follow them precisely, but have some leeway to adapt as situations change. This balance between flexibility and order keeps the army disciplined without stifling initiative. Security invests remain the same. Intelligence ordnance, however, went from espionage network to extensive vigilance. A permanent, dedicated budget is set aside for the realm's intelligence operations. The spy network is vast and ever-present, allowing the Crown to know the movements of enemies and secrets of allies alike. This level of surveillance creates an atmosphere of fear and paranoia, but it keeps the realm safe from unseen threats. So the Holy Order higher cost, if any, increased. Better chance at discovering a scheme, reduces even more of the enemy's hostile schemes to chance. While befriending and swaying somebody takes a little bit longer now. It pleases the courtly and zealot vassals. So I don't know if I approve, but I certainly approve the moral purity. Meanwhile, my lord Andelia, an illustrious courtesan renowned for her captivating beauty and unparalleled skill in the art of seduction, has graced your court. She wants to present herself and offers her services. She's 21 and pregnant. Well, who did? I mean, she is comely, pleasant to look at. She was a court prostitute. This low-born woman, renowned for being both for captivating and beauty and charisma, has risen to prominence as a disputed courtesan of lesser noblemen's. Despite her unconventional background, her presence brings a touch of allure and luxury to courtly affairs. Her ability to navigate social intricacies, provide entertainment, and captivate hearts makes her a memorable figure within the court. She has lustful at all, but she and I won't get along. But it's kind of funny, given absolute purity for general opinion is up. But it's like, while she praises for me for my virtue, but her being lustful, we kind of don't see each other eye on those matters. How's that compared with my spy master? Slight improvement. You're younger. How much would I cost to recruit you? 8. Do it. We have a new spy master. Someone who's slightly... No, that's... This one is more better. Ah, well. Craven, though. Exalted Schemer versus Adept Schemer. Go ahead. Place it with this. So yeah, we spent 8 gold on her for nothing. Except she's going to have a child in court. And you are going to take care of that child. Whoever your father was. Whoever the baby's daddy is. Meanwhile, last year I had an opportunity to negotiate old contracts, and my shrewd negotiating skills enabled me to secure much better suppliers for my court. Alright. And training programs. Our capable marshal implemented training programs, improving the soldiers' skill and social mobility. Loyalty for the lower classes was earned. So I did gain a bit of money, but I spent 8 of them on a prostitute. Courtesan. Okay, the disease appears to be going away now. My son in there, Merki, is an unusually calm child. When the others play their wild games, he often withdraws to some silent corner. He does not speak a lot, but I could tell he's always thinking about something. Wonder what's on his mind. Again, would like to do some traveling. Meanwhile, war continues up there. It's a tyranny war. A traveling merchant makes a convincing case. Sunburns and tans aren't just unattractive, but also harmful and dangerous. This merchant offers me to sell me a special oil that is made from rice, jasmine, lupine, and other herbs that helps protect one when under the sun for too long. Who'd ever think a tan looks good on a person? Especially someone of high standing such as yourself, the merchant says. My lord, you are no arrogant peasant after all. I can haggle for it. So, for historical context. Various recipes have been used to create sunscreen since ancient times. Oils consisting of rice, jasmine, and lupine have been commonly used in parts of Egypt since the days of the pharaohs. Medium health boost for the next 5 years. Yeah, I'll spend it, but not that much to put me in debt, so let's try to haggle a bit. Thanks to my high diplomacy. Thank goodness with the studying of Greek. Hell, I'm married to a Greek. Another success. I know the Coptic language now. Is there one more language I should learn? No, that's it. 4 out of 4. All the languages of the land that you must know. Okay, it's almost gone now. So around next year or so, I am going to do a bit of traveling just to get this lifestyle up. The strange familiar bonds I designed exclusive hunting grounds solely for my family's use. This has, however, angered hunters and nature enthusiasts who are barred from accessing the traditional hunting areas. My valued spy master came to me with serious information regarding the valuable asset of our spy network in the court of Amga Ahamatu of Solom. It has been providing accurate information about the region's political environment. Unfortunately, my spy master informed that this important agent is now being discreetly investigated by the agents of Amga Ahamatu of Solom. Who's Coptic, by the way? Coptic Christian. And probably in a matter of months she will be arrested, interrogated, and certainly be tortured to reveal unpalatable truths about my spy network, among other valuable information. Another agent of mine is already in place to kill the burned agent, thus securely preventing the worst to happen. If, of course, given her stellar service so far, maybe I could consider a rescue mission personally led by my spy master, but the outcome is far from being certain. Could kill her off, which I wouldn't have any issue with that. Warn her to flee, get out of there, but I'll lose all claim of prestige. Or attempt to rescue her. Hey, you're an unconventional warrior yourself. Although you're a bit craven, so I'm not sure. You got good intrigue of 18. Her prowess, whether she's shrewd or dull. There's got to be a reward to rescue her like this. You don't have those traits of schemer, eccentric, and deceitful. So try to rescue the agent. Fate of Merki. As my child grows up, it's become clear genetics played a significant role in its development. Fortunately, he turned out to be intelligent. Yes! Rota fortune. Alright. Unlike Irina, she's not intelligent, but my son is. Oh, I'm happy about that. Now, what of the burned agent? Normal flood. Alright. My control is still going down. We don't even have much in the way of growth. Successful rescue? Really? The rescue of the former secret agent proceeded smoothly, and at this time she's being debriefed in a safe place. My spy master recommends a minor sum to be offered her in recognition for all the hard work involved. Oh God, how much? And, well, just a minor sum, but I don't want to spend more to get more prestige. Just say, excellent job. Just say excellent job and just go on. Oh. War's about to be over soon, which means he's going to revoke that territory. A territory which I have a claim to. And I would like to have that for myself. But I'm not going to fight a war for it. No. I got a thing. A less noble integrated private militia. Promoted cooperation. What's a source of unrest? The militia now contributes to security domain. There you go. 4 months left. And we could start making some real fortune. 100% war score. See if they're going to revoke the title off of him. Game setting. Again. Okay, he did take this off of him. So that land is his now. He hasn't revoked that one yet. Mercenary contracts to reduce the cost. The spirit of unity prevails among house members, fostering eternal harmony. The reputation of the house is flourishing in this collaborative atmosphere bodes well for shared endeavors. One morning, as I'm getting ready to face day, my daughter Irina approached me. Father, we found this while exploring the castle yesterday, and you should have it. She hands over a small tattered coin pouch and makes jingling sound. Much about 15 gold? Such a pleasant child. Thank you much. Again, what I would like to do is to go petition to the king. But the problem is I can't transfer that claim because it has to be held by a vassal of the liege, or they will not part of the time. This is why his title's got to be revoked. And you could come in. You're not a good fighter. We don't have much in the way of good fighters, but we would have excellent commanders. Anyways, what's the king going? Traveling towards Soba because he's attending a grand tournament again. Okay, so we can't petition to the king then. Well, what I can do is I noticed another decision down there. Pray to the archangels. In Nubian Christianity, the archangels are viewed as closer to the people more than distant of being God. Archangels thus serve as heavenly intermediaries between believers and God, and may be addressed directly to carry a believer's prayers. To effect is stand up for a Nubian Christian to God himself. I should contemplate to support the protection of a specific archangel or divine figure to act as my intercessor. Think about who should be the focus for my veneration. Because I have the learning skill of 10. May the angels protect me. A patron archangel of intercession. The archangels are reverently revered by Christians throughout Nubia as noble intercessors on the behalf of the faithful. Their divine vestiges adorn the apse of our churches and cathedrals, and it is them we entreat for heavenly protection. By devoting my prayers to one of these great ambassadors to God, I can only hope that they will act as my celestial emissary to Him, to assist me in my Christian journey, protect my life, those of family, and prosper me. Thinking. We have Raphael, healer and guardian of the faithful, just for a small boost for disease resistance. Crop fields are finally constructed. Should appoint a seneschal. You, young man, you should be seneschal. Up it further. At least we can afford things now. I'd like to have another bodyguard. A matter of fact, before you even think about going anywhere in regards to travel, we need new knights. We need some good able-bodied men over here. So open up your purse. We're gonna go on a recruiting spree. He was released. A Dinka of a neglect faith. And you just got ill. What the hell happened to you? You got ill and then you got severely injured and you call yourself a hero? What did you just do, man? He was afflicted by measles 2 years ago. He survived measles, but can he survive this? And he was said to be a reliable tax collector in his day. How'd you injure yourself and you call yourself a hero? There's a noble investigator explained in the unexplained phenomena. People began to appreciate the transparency and efforts to dispel uncertainties. Ha ha. Yes. After months of contemplation, I devised effective ways to increase my power and authority, uncovering promising opportunities. Hee hee hee. Unfortunately, there's a failed intervention to mediate conflicts between my knights. And the liege is back. Marshal skillfully managed the integration of new territories, ensuring a peaceful and assimilation to people in the annexed regions. Feel to be part of that realm. Again, can't do this, and the only thing you can do is, well, nothing. Especially with my development gone up recently. It's because you can't do that if he's a vassal of a vassal. Especially when you got very big fortifications and their forces out there is just... you don't want to fight a war against them. Because you'll be in for a rude awakening. Dynasty Legacy. Like, honestly, I would go for law all the way. Because of popular opinion. Because of these unpredictabilities of living in the Nile and the yearly events of all that. And plus, hunts and feasts are cheaper. Especially feasts. useful when I will invite the king to my feast, if I want to make him my honored guest and befriend him. A Mandulist man. He was an honorable court servant. Again, mind you, traits are randomized. Now where the hell's that king going? You're quite a tourney goer yourself, huh? Always busy. There's another building I would like to build. I would like to build militia camps. Just for more levies. And eventually get more Nile archers. You've been getting ill a lot, have you? Okay, you're better. There's nothing much we could do now other than... let me see. Wasn't there an option to go visit another realm? I mean, I do have the Traveler's mod, typically. You could do these other hostile schemes. Unless you want to go visit, you know, this nearby realm. Which is visit a metropolis. Again, let me see my regency. Try to get extra gold. Because I'm going to go on a bit of a trip here. A long trip. Guess you can't visit nearby realms. Instead, it's overridden by this. And I have the usual mods on. So, metropolises are bustling cities. Harsh environment where only the sharpest minds and most cunning individuals thrive. Don't expect your noble title to grant you any special treatment. In the crowded alleys, money speaks louder than lineage. In the crowded alleys, money speaks... I guess I misread that. This daring venture is best suited for skillful counts and dukes with small territories and nothing to lose. You willing to take the risk? The average of your skills matters more than a single specialization in determining success together. Diligent and ambitious characters are more resourceful, thus having slightly better chances in Metropolis. On the contrary, lazy and content characters are less motivated to succeed. Metropolises are especially stressful and hostile places for paranoid and eccentric characters. You could stay there for about 5 years if you like, so... There's plenty of travel danger here, so it would be best for you to get experienced captains and what's the difference between pirate army and mercenary guards? Well, it's the no cost option is what gets you. But hiring mercenaries, safe for travel. As much as I would love to go down over there and visit all these landmarks. So instead we travel to this side of the Nile. Go up to Cairo. And then we head up there. Then we go to Rhodes. Take a detour to Crete. Up the sea we go. And straight into Constantinople. And then after we leave, I don't know about a tour all around Greece. It would take a long while to get through all that. Wouldn't want to go through all the trouble, but go to Alexandria. And then see the pyramids. And then back down here. Yes. This is a captain, but not a mercenary captain. We're heading to Byzantium. I got pet dead a mercenary company of Meroe. As we walk through the streets of Atanalaja, there's a loud ruckus by one of the market stalls, with two men yelling at one another. Before we can make our way there, a man has already stepped in between and talked them down. See, it will be fine, he tells the man in the stall with a smile and hands him a coin. With that simple act of kind generosity, returns everything to normalcy. His turns approach us with no banner or mark telling me of any liege order. Perhaps a wandering knight? Money's going to be spent over there, so I don't have time for this man. Unless you want to invite him anyway. But, however, that's gonna cost you 95. Favorite Charles 31. Okay, forget him. My entourage passes through a chorus without issue until I hear some commotion coming from around my guards. Eventually, a stranger manages to push through and stand at my side, beaming as if blessed by God himself. By Jesus, by God, it's the Count de Zay. I desire nothing more than to serve you unconditionally for the rest of my life. The guards are ready to ready to throw him back in the mud. Something for Lord Courtier. Oh yes, fairly useful, though he has a lisp. Join me. The road takes us to the treacherous parts of Baqt while I scan for any dangers ahead. The rustling bush grabs my attention. Could it be a wild animal? As I brace myself for impact, I got powder. Jumps out of the bush instead, holding a plant. You scared me. Anyways, let's see what you have here. Some kind of fruit, I exclaim. Yes, it looks and smells so delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. Maybe I'll just take a little bite, it says. Let him eat it. Yeah, there's a painful stomachache. No need to bestow any more favor schemes at this time. Remember, you gain 50 prestige at each time you visit these landmarks. The soft rumor of the river been falling for a while becomes stronger now. Some members of the entourage talk about making a short step to get some fresh water and rest their feet. There's a stone bridge when the path turns. A couple of men with their backs against the parapet, one on the other side of them points on them. Third map comes up from the shore, another looks up at us, split in the river. You know, he says, this is actually a toll bridge. Brave of you to even suggestion. Miran Kuda, show him. The bandits attacked him. The rain hasn't let up, and we've been traveling through fall. We've been nervously eyeing the river as its murky waters swelled ever larger, like some pus-filled blister. My charter petty is complaining once again. We've been trekking through this sodden, sucking cesspit for days. When it does, before we can finish the sentence, the bank finally breaks and rush of thick, dark water sloshes over towards the spies and VIET. That's our mercenary captain. We need our protection. Dang nabbit, save him. Without the mercenary captain, trial will be even more perilous. Councilor died of pneumonia. Well, looks like you're finally gonna get your job. Birka, another mandulist. Don't have 20 gold for it. Full mandulist. While visiting a town along the Nile Valley, I'm enjoying a dish of Faux Madames. It is a hearty stew of fava beans mixed with olive oil and various spices and garnishes, popular among the many in this region for generations now. What is that? Faux Madames, or faux, is a stew made of fava beans mixed with various spices and herbs. as often eaten for breakfast that is popular in Egypt and Sudan, where it is considered a national dish. Consumption of fava beans in this region dates back to pharaonic Egypt, so the dish may have ancient origins. Less dubious records of the dish come from the medieval period. In medieval Cairo, for example, the making of pho was monopolized by the inhabitants living near the princess baths, a public bath, as they took advantage of the fires to keep the bath waters warm. Huge cauldrons of foam were kept simmering all day and night by the bathhouse to maintain a continuous supply of breakfast for Cairo's population. Well, we did pass through Havan, so that's delicious. Eat some good ones. A hearty stew of fava beans with spices, lemon, and more. What isn't there to like? Now we just entered Cairo. What a great misfortune. We were riding on a road in Cairo, where Nagapur's horse collapsed beneath his legs, dropping dead. Curses upon curses, Nagapur hissed, as I got around the horse's corpse, wondering what to do with it. This horse had been showing signs of exhaustion for a few days now. It didn't seem that bad, and now we know better. Thankfully, there's not a town too far away, Cairo. I could get a new horse for him there, or give him one of the donkeys carrying supplies and redistribute the loads around a bit if I'm pressed for time. Can't afford it, so he can ride a spare donkey. Our caravan has become a little lost in these foreign lands. Nagapur's been trailing us Shakia for hours, though he last swallowed his pride and asked for directions. He does not appear to be an expert Arabic speaker. Fortunately, I'm fluent in Arabic. Shortcut. Now we're traveling by sea. There was a commotion among the children today. Merki was tempted to preach among his fellow youngsters. For a 5-year-old, he sure can. After all, he's intelligent. And he became a target of a small fight. The area Indigo was furious that anyone could target someone attempted to speak on behalf of God and chased away the other children. Do not be afraid. Charge in when you have to. He's a multifaceted innovator. So with highborn origins, his courageous ambition lies in mastering diverse, unconventional skills aligned with our personal preferences. Driven by insatiable curiosity, they constantly push the boundaries of knowledge. Yet, they may struggle with mundane tasks and conventional expectations of rulership. Very low flood, religious strife, trial speed, and it's much more dangerous now. Damn it. $45 gold, just like what I want from you. Ruins of Knossos. We stood in a quiet tavern in Chandax when a loud band of ragged-looking sellswords comes barging in. Their brutish leader pushes one of my guards aside and basically sits down at my table. A nobleman, eh? Lord, I'm interested in the services of the best band of mercenaries in Chandax. More loyal men than you'll never find if you pay us property. The best? You got my attention. We do need more men for our future army. We got non-pastoralists, and now we got mercenaries. 1 second. Just levies. No men at arms. Just numbers. Traversing the outskirts of Chandax, we were suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders, out for blood. We're so close to the holding. Surely Amir Yusuf will send help. As time drags on as we are chased by scoundrels for the longest avoiding battle, it's become painfully clear that no help is coming. How could a ruler let malicious riders like these inhibit his borders? My knight, well, rides up next to me, a solemn look in his eyes. We both know the tactic we have practiced in the past. Well, you're not one of the best ones, but you know what to do. He stays behind to distract the attackers, and he gets himself killed for it. He was the one that says, by God, by Jesus. He sacrificed his life for it. He was loyal to the end, though. I'll give them that. The customs of the Greeks and Chinese are quite something passed through this region. We stopped by a couple of taverns along the way. At every stop, we've been fortunate to witness some of the local music and dances, and my entourage has found them quite charming, if not exciting. Very neat, for instance, even tried some learning of local dances and seems to be pretty good at it. These so-called dances are not worth my time. Get me the hell out of here. Egyptian boils. Oh no. Oh, that place is... Well, I mean, I am going to spend some time at Constantinople. I'm not coming back home until that disease is gone. Nasha. Power at home. Swinging the skills powers increase efficiency and darks and more loyal when you're traveling, as it should be. Meanwhile, in the Aegean. As we sold towards Byzantium, the fresh air is doing wonders, at least for my health and well-being. But we're not so lucky at all. I noticed how Nakpur has been deteriorating over the past few days. Now, there's no doubt that he has contracted an illness of some kind. Can you treat him? Yes, you can. You can keep on going without delay. Oh, babies cry, but little Masha. Yansha. There's no end to the tears. I desperately want the midwife to ease my worries, but her furrowed brow makes everything worse. Your daughter's not getting when she should. We'll take good care of her, my lord. But in the end, her life's in God's hands. Hush now. Please don't cry. Right, now that I'm here, I arrived to Byzantium. The host Bassus Basilios of the Basilios Romian is wondering what I plan to do here. Well, I'm a man of stewardship myself. I'll say visit the markets to find opportunities to earn gold. As we land in the Prospherion harbor, we are in all the size of Constantinople, having sighted towers and domes and sea walls from a long distance. By midday, we rest in the heat by a curious building in the breathtaking square of Augustion. The structure houses a golden milestone that locals insist marks the center of the world. My liege, this is a place unlike any other you've been to. We stand before a millennia of history. Let me see. You'll be out of debt in no time, and there's other means to gain wealth. So I'll find something to bring home here. Help me acquire Nubian regalia. Inventory artifact, a masterwork artifact, in fact, created by a man named Thomas, who just disappeared without a trace today. So basically, the man who made this thing. An Alpida regalia set of very fine craftsmanship. It consists of electrum scepters set with faces of opal. Fine cotton robes have been embroidered with gold, and an electrum cross-bearing orb. The regalia is wrapped in a piece of cloth where someone scribbled a note about having bought it from one of the craftsmen in Byzantium. We know its creator. Piety up, prestige up, attraction up, and dynasty opinion goes up as well. Excellent. Okay, apparently we're leaving now. Okay. Oh, I just noticed there's that blasted. There's also disease up there. It's a good thing we're passing through there. But unfortunately, Egyptian boils are everywhere. So it's not safe to go over there yet. So we need to stall for time. Change course. Should have head to areas where there's no disease here. I need a map for illness skin. Not affected yet. It's part of the major typhus epidemic. Matter of fact, it just started 2 months ago, so it could potentially spread more. Damn! It's a good thing we didn't stay there for too long. Change course, dang nabbit, to make a brief stop in Lesbos and then back to land. Head to there. I want you to make a stop at Athens and just go overland a bit. Ah, damn it, you just botched it. Attica, Corinth, Patras, and even take a detour at the little island over there of Terra. No, you idiot! After Attica. Mausoleum of Hyrcanussus is another place we could all just make a visit there. Yeah, we'll be crisscrossing here in case that disease gets out of control, though. Subject to change. Travel is subject to change. A street prophet singles you out in a crowded marketplace, loudly proclaiming doom and misfortune will befall your realm due to your actions in Metropolis. The crowd's attention towards you. Members of superstition and worry spread quickly. While you try to dismiss the incident, you notice a change in how the locals interact. The prophecy, however baseless, seems sown the seeds of your doubt that complicate your objectives. How unfortunate. Keep your eye. The road's gotten incredibly hilly for the past few hours and everyone's beginning to worry. With no end of the hills in sight, my caravan master approaches me and says, "My lord, our mounts cannot carry on like this. The poor animals need a break or field will collapse. We must stop to rest. He knows full well this will delay our journey." He's right. It would be wise to rest, just for 10 days, okay? Just hope that the plains fever does not come to this island. It's not spread to Attica yet. Hold on. What's the disease situation down in Egypt? We don't know if it's going away anytime soon, but I just want to stall for time as much as possible. Meanwhile, while exploring the bustling market districts, I noticed a promising plot of land near the city's port. It's a bit run down, but you recognize its potential for growth. Secure the property at a reasonable price, knowing that it's undervalued. Within a few months, a rising merchant shows up, willing to pay the sum you expected. You sell it for the substantial profit, demonstrating your foresight and business acumen. Where should I go next? I'll just do it one more time. Okay, we decided to pause our travel here in Athens. Okay, so I think that travel event is what caused it to, do that. Well, now it's a good thing we decided to stop at Athens for a bit. Keep track of that disease. It's not coming here, and the Egyptian boils is going away now. Don't overstay your welcome. Oof. You can hit go home now if you wish to, but while attending a social gathering, you meet an influential merchant who speaks passionately about a new trade route opening up between your homeland and the metropolis. Seeing the potential, you decided to invest a sizable amount of gold to his venture. Months later, the trade route proves to be a massive success, and your investment yields a substantial return. Your foresight and willingness to take a calculated risk paid off handsomely. Satisfied. Time to return home. Thank you. I could have earned a lot more if I'd stayed there for long, which they tell you can stay there for about 5 years. Up to 5 years. I managed to get through a dangerous path at Courtiers. Suddenly a strange feeling that someone is missing bothers me all day. I don't remember seeing Nagapur all day. My caravan master. As he was keeping the rear guard as we entered a war-torn province, suppose it was the best idea knowing his bravado. Driver's already gunning for the front lines, unless he's just lost in the mountains. We got a mountain search party friend, and we found him. You will be caravan master again. We'll still visit the landmarks as planned. Reduce the cost. In case we are to start any wars. As we travel through the outskirts of Andravida, we suddenly see a jovial man in the distance, jumping and dancing and singing to himself. Seems like quite the character. Would you like to hear some of his songs about Basileus, the tyrannical Greek toad? He yells at us as soon as we get within shouting distance before we have time to answer. Start singing a merry tune about the depravities of the Basileus. Well, tell me more about him. Sabotage attempts. Having a lot of social prestige is great, but this arouses the envy of many people who are willing to sort of do everything to sabotage your reputation and interests. The more powerful people talk about you, the more unfortunate the events will happen around you. So it's just like oof, too much piety. My liege, the tales of legendary heroes have taken a dark turn. The once revered heroes have fallen from grace, tarnishing the reputation of your realm. As we trek through Andravida, our caravan stopped at a clearing bordered by a tree line. I proceed towards the commotion and find Net and Petty having an irate road. I'll have no more of your idiots, say you cocky fop doodle. And that sounds funny, I guess. You're the one that's went on this entire journey, squealing over there at every crossroads of toads. Come now, sure you two can make amends. 64% chance to settle their differences, 36% chance they're unable. Please, don't trudge. The sea is calm and forgiving today. Still as a boulder and a powerful wind in our back to boot. Seems it'll be an easy day for the rowers below. Then I spot the mangled corpse of a ship buried nose first to some jagged rocks just ahead. There doesn't appear to be any survivors, and the rocks would be no trivial thing to navigate. Yet I feel compelled to go investigate this mysterious wreck. Let's investigate. Much to my surprise, I began to hear a voice hailing our ship as we approached the wreckage. The man appears to be a wealthy noble floating around on the remains of a door. Hail! I thought I would never see another soul again before the sea would claim me, as did my companions. He introduced himself as Helios, claims to be a noble from the Taberna of Corinthos, and offers to pay for his safe passage and company. We shall help you at the shore then. Just take him back home. Jesus clearly does not favor our voyage, as the waves the size of castles comes crashing down on a humble vessel. The ship is rocked back and forth. Men and women cling to whatever they can keep from turning overboard as the ship grows closer and closer to capsizing. One of the court stashes the other nobles in the safest part of the ship, as the sky burns with thunder and the sea crashes down on us with all its strength. I fear I shall not live to see another day if I try to survive on faith alone. I trust our captain. Someone drowned. Did he? And visited the Battle of Thera, which that place was mentioned here. This happened just 2 years ago. Two sides clashed at Thera, one led by the Lord Nicetas and the other by Dionysios. The victory was ensured when the Greek pikemen led by Andreas, who is this man here, when Andreas pushed back the enemy charge, inflicted significant losses amongst their adversaries, and captured Dionysios. Meanwhile, while stopping by at the Taberna, Taberna, met a friend elder named Demetrios, engaged in conversation with him. He told me to beware of fraudulent peddlers selling false relics to naive Christian pilgrims and travelers. They've been increasingly common in the area. There's much profit to be made in duping the easily dupable who don't know much about the real history of this place. Demetrios explains, you won't believe what fanciful tales that people will believe about holy priests and other sacred figures who never existed. When they tell me about it, I have to correct them and ruin their experiment. But someone has to do it. Do tell me about the real history of this place. Nice little visit on the island. That disease is still there, but we're going to make a short trip around and hopefully no one catches it. This one's for learning. Get this one because you got good children. You've earned a lot of prestige just for traveling because of your focus. On our way back to Egypt and towards Nubia. Yes, sirree. And then the pyramids of Giza. Sometimes traveling through the harsh environments has invigorating effects on at least my state of mind and vigor. I glance over Koda. He does not appear to be doing quite as good. His movement is labored, his breathing heavy, and spontaneous bursts of coughing ripple his body. Clearly he is not well. I can treat him. You're good at this sort of thing. Cutting cornerstones, so just to cut costs slightly. As you sit by the campfires after a long day, a group of travelers approaches in the dark. They look like a gaggle of lost pilgrims, today led by a haggard-looking man. Despite my impression, I noticed they're all carrying valuables of some sort. Please, my lord, can we be pleased to allow to rest by your campfire? We will do a long journey. Well, I'm a deceitful person, so I'll say, oh, I will relieve you of your troubles. Nobody will notice if a couple of pilgrims got lost on their journey, right? So spend piety, gain dread, and gold. Especially gold, because there's going to be some investments with it. Nagapri is in charge of our food supplies. She revealed our provisions are now all but useless, having been poorly stored. Patches of mold cover the bread and produce. We have quickly used up the remaining dried food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. Nature will provide for us. 94% chance to find something for it, 2% ill, 2% death. It is known that the Coptic people are the ardent believers of the Ashari faith. Oh, this place has been converted recently? Yes. They do not take kindly to non-believers. Nevertheless, Anas is on our route there, so we must pass through. Quickly, though, the village's vengeful eyes set upon us like a wolf prowling its meal. More of a chance to react. The local imam descends upon us with a mob of raging fanatics, screeching about our alleged heretical beliefs and demanding we pay atonement for passing through these holy lands. Oh, you can't outthink him. I guess it's just easier if we just pay. All that money that we just stole, now we have to give it away. But however, the inn we stayed here was a surprisingly wonderful place. I don't know what the inn or its staff did right, but something about the inn allowed most of us to sleep through the night so peacefully. So this morning, there are smiles on the faces of many of my entourage as we prepared to leave. Well, what a wonderful place that was, despite its initial hostilities. One second, who is this noble guest? Prokoros, a skilled but underrated person in his arrived court. Despite the world's judgments of his shortcomings, this master seeks knowledge to showcase their exceptional talents and pledge loyalty. Delicate, overlooked talent. Perhaps so. Vance! Kodas shout in panic. Soon thereafter I hear a loud crackling sound like that of wood breaking or my patience finally snapping. I step on a mud, see splinter remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel. I'm sorry, my liege, it was my turn as a lookout and I fell asleep with the reins. By God's nails, we're going to be late. As I stand down, rolling my hands against the fire, lost my thoughts, and no one made approach street, tears in her eyes. After elaborate goods, she looks me in the eye and says, my count, your sickly offspring, the beloved Nisha, didn't resist the illness that befell her, died some moments ago. Without any other words to say, she just stands in front of me, tears flowing, waiting for my next command. My poor child. In the dark ages, the death rate of infants was high indeed. She was born a sickly child, unfortunately, death took her away. I had so many hopes for you, my sweetest child. All the things you would learn, experience, and do. There were so many possibilities, a whole life to live. Maybe you would have had children of your own in one day. But now, none of those things will ever come to be. Rest in peace, little Nasha. I guess you're just going to have to be content with 3 children at this point. Back in familiar territory. Hide tense is finished. Long last, I'm finally home. There's nothing better than arriving back after a long journey, after resting for some time. But the cold road beckons ever onward. Like caravan master, and I read reports that we journeyed through 684 days towards 79 baronies. I'll never forget when Emir Yusuf did not raise a finger to assist me in my travel montage when we were assaulted outside of his hold. Thank God I could go outside again. That was good. The health is poor. We know his success is going to be the prince here. One of these days, I'm going to have to ask to request a claim. Although, to speak his tongue, he is a kinslayer. Wow. I have virtual traits. He has. Okay. No, he's not doing well himself. I wish there is time to sway you. But it isn't good these days because of current policies. You can compliment him, just a little bit, but that would not be enough. We've had a few good Nile floods compared to bad ones. There hasn't been much of Baqt exchanges. You can do it with those who have a higher opinion of you. So it's best you do it with vassals. Just find an Egyptian ruler who is more amenable. There was this man. Oh yeah, this guy. He can be reasoned with. Just give what he prefers. Although I'll be spending quite a bit of money. Look, this is how these pacts work. It's just, you get a truce for 20 years. But you have to give him certain things that would help him out while needs something in return. And for a man like him who's a scholar, he would prefer ivory. But of course it's due to opinion, honors, culture, tolerance, all that. Wants the freedom to war. So he's a bit of a troublemaker himself. You know what, let me compliment him as well. Then we'll talk trade. You can do that again, but they'll override. You could try to befriend him, but good luck with that. He'll more likely to accept either ebony or ivory. But to play it safe, you need to give him ivory, so that way he could send me goods in return. Which I would like to have one of these things. So let's propose it. I got money to burn. We'll hear back from him soon. We're following the diplomatic exchanges between Amir Abu Adnala and myself. Our representatives met near the first cataract, a little south of Aswan. Regardless of the current political circumstances, the area is treated as a no-man's land where Baqt exchanges can happen. Per the terms of the Baqt, we agreed to an equitable exchange of goods to follow negotiations. I will give him ivory, and he will give me olive oil. And so, peace will reign between us. I can only hope his intentions are genuine, so that our two sides continue to show mutual respect towards each other. May God protect our peace. So, for ivory, I gave him this, so he gets learning +1, monthly piety, and vassal opinion up. And on my end, I got olive oil, which appeals to my stewardship. So, receive all oil from Egypt, whether if it's made there or elsewhere in the Mediterranean. So, +1 stewardship, medium health boosts disease resistance, and less stress gain. Thank you very much. It's the first time that anyone's done something like this. One of the children at court, Courtiers, has taken a wooden horse of a younger girl and thrown it in a nearby cave. My daughter was there and saw it all happen. Burying threw in a fit of rage and beat Courtiers bloody. This didn't help the young girl, who started crying even more. Seems she has trouble controlling her anger. You should have made that get her toy back. Wouldn't like you to be wrathful. And since you're the only Christian entity out there, independent Egyptian Coptic Christian out there, I wish I could just send a little gift to you, a Baqt gift. But you can't do that because fellow Christian. That's why. You can only do that to Muslim rooms. And you can also propose trade, but that's a bit redundant compared to Baqt, which is basically short of truce, but payments like lose, pay, sound good well. And then I get all these things. So you can have an exchange with him, but also he's currently at war. Wants a swan for himself. And this is the current governor of Aswan. So I guess he wants to be the governor of Aswan. And now we have Journey. It's even faster to learn a language, if you're good at it. And you gain access to a monument expedition activity. Increased traveler trade experience when you visit a point of interest. Which is to undertake an expedition of a famous monument or landmark to improve yourself by delving into history, knowledge, and mysteries that dwell there. Let me show you. I've done this once, I think, back in Sicily. You can go to any one of them, anywhere within your diplomatic range, or even further. Which means, you know, places like that, that I wanted to have that, so. The further away you are, the less bonuses you get. Even if you go all the way to, like, say, Pangaea, that's too long a distance, so it's better to keep it short. And this gives me the excuses to visit a couple more places that I wanted to go to travel originally. But that has not come yet. Doesn't affect travel, right? So, credible forecasts say high flood remains. Again, this remains problematic. I need to get up to 3 counties or a duchy. So some would think it would be wise to try to get a duchy or fight a war for it, but that would be suicidal because of the idea of trying to get a highly fortified area there. And this one is less fortified, but currently building a hill fort, which will give you a hard time. And this one's also increasing its fortification levels as well. And you've got children, so you're going to need to find some allies from within, like this one. Oh, there goes the old man then. I know you can't have marriage alliances with them, but who knows? Unless you want to bring Elodia, but... Hey, you're not betrothed, right? I don't think they'll accept, but try this. Oh, they will. Okay. We do need alliances like these. So a whole alliance with them. And for Shamir, his grandson. How about with my boy here, Merki? Will accept. Thanks to my high legitimacy and desires for alliances. Because I want to negotiate. And you down there. Oh yeah, the man who's about to become king. Whereas, again, we can't negotiate with these people, but... That's only if you can finance it. I think it's largely because, you know, child rule and all that. But since you've been, you know, having a nice time between each other, currently at war. You must be mad to even think of considering something like this. Have to be at least 15% of each other. That's different. Like even if you want to call somebody from Alexandria over here. But no. Friends are kind of limited in this part of the world. Which is why Baqt exchanges happen. So you should invest in getting the military up, starting with the Nile archers. For thousands of years, the Nubians have protected their homeland by mastering the bow from a young age, fighting off the raids from surrounding desert peoples and invaders alike. And they'll be stationed here now that we have a militia camp. So yes, first steps of building our first military here. And we have alliances. Which means with our combined strength, we can deal with whatever the threat that may be out there. Even if it includes for territorial expansion such as this most fortified area besides Dongola. Elizabeth is intelligent too. Don't forget that Axum exists, the other Christian entity, which is righteous as we share the same religious head. Don't forget about them. Hey. That's another alliance. Alright. Another revolt. Tyranny? Tyranny. Well, this may be my chance to expand without resorting to go to the war, because since he rebelled again, I'm sure this time he's going to punish him severely. And there's some factionalism. He wants another shot at becoming the king again, since he lost the previous war. No fancy dreams. It's better gold this time. Not your ally, I know. But I keep it close interest because when he takes the territory, I can go ask the king to give me that land. That's a win, but now he's got to have a 4-year-long siege. I'm pacing back and forth in my residences, thinking about this or that, and I accidentally bump into some furniture. Whoops, silly me. Again, starting wars like these. I mean, at least the Egyptians and Africans are not fighting each other. At least I'm the one that did a Baqt Exchange. Nile Archers is not yet fully reinforced. Aswan has been fallen. He will no longer be governor of Aswan, and this should make the man a new governor of Aswan once he has that title for himself. Yep, he's gained a trait. Now he's the new governor of Aswan. See if he has the gumption to do all these things. It's nice that you learned the Greek language. Hey, son. That reminds me. Oh wait, we have no tutor. But, hey. Control's good. Oppressive policies, though. Oppressive policies anger the common folk. The populace suffers under the weight of unjust conditions, leading to discontent and unrest. Popular opinion still barely there. That's why I had to pick mostly fair, because I fear peasant revolts. In case we get a bad Nile flood on top of bad events that led to that. Not enough soldiers, he can't take this. But he can. He's got enough manpower to make that happen. If he can take it in 2 years' time. Let me compliment to the king. Need to kiss up to him a little later. They're cabbages! One of my courtiers has lately refused to eat anything with cabbage. One question why, I was told, cabbage? Oh dear, you know that it is peasants' food. It's like water to them. Why would a person of high status, such as ourselves, consume such a lowly, filthy plant? Good point, I guess. Though he's a tad bit deceitful. Well, meanwhile, you should start swaying the prince. He's going to be the new king soon, and I have to take part in a coronation ceremony when that time comes. Alright. Educational failure. Oh crap. Excellent. Be friends of a counselor or a ruler of Mercuria. Especially with its shorty opinion. Need to get more money out of it. Be the not bonus objective. With time, he'll try to get all this. My liege, my steward, Mercurius begins as he comes into my study. I've recently had some dealings with a caravan master who might be of interest to your travels. He's traveled far and wide and has the experience we've been looking for. We've had troubles of finding someone to be in charge of my travels. Is this a good opportunity? I already have a good one. I know you're younger, but, and you're a veteran adventurer. So I'll say it does not interest me, but you'll remain here as one of my knights. Okay, he's a damn good one too. Okay. Whenever my caravan master passes away or something bad happens to him, I'll put him there as such. Even if he doesn't take this place, war score will still go up regardless. But he needs to take this to make it 100%, so he's got a year to do it. And then hopefully a year later he revokes that title. I'll go petition to the king to transfer this land that belonged to my vessel to me, so I don't have to fight a war over this territory with a high fort level. 'Cause look what it has. It's got orchards. This is beneficial for me, not only for defense but economically as well. So basically that's how I expand my realm, the smart way. Counter peasant, high or low, it does not matter. In the end we're all mortal. I was minded this when I woke coughing early in the morning hours. Dull aching pain under my head and throat. My body racked with shivers and weakness. My head is leaking from every orifice. I heard that wheezing from across the court, my lord Count. My physician pokes her into my chamber. Should you require no fair number of suitable remedies, do no more is necessary. Kel called on the priest to bring forth the finest singer in the court, which turned out to be a young child with a bright tenor of a voice. For several days in a row, the child sang me to sleep. The soothing voice just turned out to be what I needed. Now the worst of my seems living in the world seemed a little brighter. Of course, I am deeply satisfied with this realm law of the moral law. Thanks to my king. My son, Merki, and his little friend Elizabeth taken a copy of the scriptures from the study and brought it to their playroom. Merki tried to read it, but quickly realized the words therein were best left for the priest. He seems completely content with his current ability to understand the deeper meaning of the book. Hey, respect those words. They hold wisdom and meaning. We know you're intelligent and all that, but it's not wise for you to be thinking like that. I think they can barely make it out to there. while they can't do a thing. Even if they make a desperate attempt at defense to try to kill off a few, it won't matter. Time's on their side. Successful penance. I swayed the Prince Georgios, the future king of Mercuria. Because he's gonna be my friend one day, you know? Okay, now where's the king going? Another tournament. To... oh, the heck, way down there. Well, don't die in your travels. Because I like you. Because I would hate to lose you when that time comes. And how is this character's health? He's going to be around for a while longer. And I should consider getting a tattoo of my own once I recover from this illness. The face of Saint Samuel. Yet another day leading my county brings little surprises, save by my presbyteros Mutashka bursting into my throne room, eagerly waving a bag of desserts in my face. My count! My count! Oh, it's a miracle! I was expecting a cook's meal for you for this evening. When it occurred to me just how much of this particular item resembled the face of none other than Saint Samuel. Upon inspection, I must admit the resemblance is uncanny. I'm sure this must be heresy. Well, how right you are. Delicious face of Saint Samuel. A collection of candied figs bear resemblance to Saint Samuel. Three more months and you're gonna get it. And he's gonna get all the good loot in there, as you can see the loot number in there. Gain 24 gold. I'm a little confused as to why my wife wants to present a grand gift to me in the courtyard. So understand? Orders Countess de Christi. Orders a group of soldiers in line. A complete regiment, raised from our lands, ready to serve you. More troops to bolster the army. We do need to increase the size a bit. Been there, done that. It's a clincher. I want them to get it so I can claim the land for myself without fighting a war for it. Five, four, he's got it. Now please revoke that title. He's rebelled you for the second time. At least his garrison is much lowered, so... Again, if I were you, I would revoke that title off of him, as much as like you did with the other guy. Significantly impacted by the siege. And one of the buildings was destroyed in that siege. Ores does cost a bit. Okay, he has returned. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, let's end the episode right now. Um, at the 1st of January, as I finally recovered from my illness. I forgot I was ill. I wasn't paying attention to my character the way he looked, as much as I was kept looking at the map. So we ended with a very high Nile flood. Available workforce. We can upgrade this further if you so wish. Take advantage of this for about a year. Something to think about. So we hope you people have enjoyed this episode, as it's gone a little long for me. So we'll see you in the next one. But until then, so long for now.